Hi Nad, thanks for the heads up on the software. Works really well. I just wanted to go over with you expanding binomial expressions. I've been working on a few of them now and just wanted to make sure that my method is good. I'm using the right technique, and my understanding of it is good enough to sort of get me sort of a higher level mark. So I started with last year's exam, the expression you had in there, which was 1 minus x to the power of 5, but I've done it to the power of 3 just so you can see my method, a little bit shorter version. So I've got 1 minus x to the power of 3, and I've been using Pascal's triangle and taking the coefficients from the triangle according to the power that I'm raising the expression to. So for that I need 1, I need a 3, I need another 3 and another 1. So I've got my coefficients there, and then I basically build up everything else around that. So I take the first term in my bracket at the top, so I take the 1 and I times it by the first coefficient, and that is then to the power of 3, because that I start with my main power, and then the second coefficient is then times by the first term again, so it's times by 1, but that would be squared, because if I'm right in saying as you go from left to right with the first term in the bracket, from left to right you decrease the power. So the third term would then be times by 1, but that would just be to the power of 1. And then the last term is just 0, so I don't need to put anything there. Moving on from that, I then need to times my coefficients by the second term in my bracket. So I've got a minus x there. So starting off with the second term, it goes from low to high with the powers. So the first coefficient would be 0, so I wouldn't put a minus x there. The second coefficient would be times by just minus x. The third coefficient would be then times by minus x, and that would be squared. And the last term would then be minus x cubed as the powers go up. So there I have all my coefficients with the first and second term in there. So all I need to do now is tidy that all up. So looking from at the first term, I've got 1 to the power of 3 just here, but 1 to the power of 3, and anything 1 to the power of anything is just 1 anyway, so it'd just be 1 times 1, which just give me 1. And I'll tell you what, I'll do that in a different colour so you know my answers there. So 1, so I've got 1 there. So then I go on to my second term, and I've got 1 to the power of 2, again that's just 1. So then that would leave me 3 times 1, which is just 3. So then I would have 3 times minus x, which would give me minus 3x. Third term, I've got basically here, we've got minus x to the power of 2. So when you're raising anything to an even power, it becomes positive, if I'm right in saying. So that minus x would actually become a positive x. So it would have a positive x there. This is 3 times 1, which is 3, which would actually then be 3 times the x. So that would give me plus 3x, and I'm raising the x to the 2, so that would be 3x squared. Looking at my third term, I then have minus x, raising the minus x to the 3, and the 3 is odd, so the minus x would stay as a minus x, so we'd just have 1 times minus x to the power of 3 on the end, so that would just be minus x, because it's just 1 times minus x, so you just have minus x cubed, and that is my answer, and hopefully my method there is okay. But just let me know, obviously, if there's anything I can improve on or do better. I would love to know. So there you go. Thanks very much.